And in some other breaking news coming in, it is official now. The NSA level talks between India and Pakistan will take place on 23rd of August. That's the big breaking news coming in, that the talks will go on as scheduled. This is the latest bit of information that we are getting. There was a huge shadow over the future of these talks and whether at all it would happen in the wake of that recent terror attack that happened in Udhampur. Okay, breaking news coming in. The NSA level talks that was scheduled to take place is very much on. There has been no cancellation whatsoever. There was a lot of question and uncertainty over the future of these talks following that terror attack that has recently happened in Udhampur, where Mohammed Nawed, the lone terrorist from Pakistan, is now under custody with the Indian security agencies. So the NSA level talks going as per schedule. So finally a response coming in there from Pakistan that the NSA level talks between India and Pakistan will go on and will happen on the 23rd of August. A big story and a big news coming in there following that terror, the rise in terror attacks, in fact, not just one, the spike that we have seen in the recent terror activities in the country. So there was a lot of uncertainty whether or not these talks will at all happen. One had not even heard from Pakistan about these talks, and this was following the very important meeting between Nawaz Sharif and Narendra Modi on the sidelines of UFA. Our strategic affairs editor now, Gaurav Sawant, joins us for more on this. Gaurav, there was so much of uncertainty over the future of these talks. The recent arrest of Mohammed Nawed also had a severe blow to diplomacy between India and Pakistan. But it seems, and fortunately though, that the talks have not stalled. It has not been cancelled and it will happen.
Pakistan's Foreign Office has confirmed that 23rd of August is the date where Pakistan's National Security Advisor Sartaj Aziz will fly into New Delhi for the NSA level talks. This was the decision that was taken at UFA in Russia. Now, the agenda, according to India, from what sources tell India today, is Pakistan-sponsored terror. Pakistan, of course, is bringing its own agenda, its own dossiers, as Pakistan says, about the alleged involvement of India's external intelligence agency in Balochistan, in the federally administered tribal areas, and what Pakistan claims is in Peshawar. So this is what is Pakistan claim. India, as you rightly pointed out, Avantika, has a cast iron case against Pakistan, whether it's the involvement of Pakistani terrorists in Gurdaspur, recently the arrest of Nawed, as you rightly pointed out, and a series of other terror attacks that have been taking place in India that are traced back to Pakistan. And it's not just restricted to a Pakistani terrorist being caught alive, it's also electronic intelligence, a GPS being found, night vision devices being found, fake Indian currency notes being sent into India from Pakistan. So there is a lot of information that India wants to give to Pakistan. And these talks are also extremely crucial because both Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Pakistan's Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif will be flying to the UN, to the US in September. And there in front of the world body, it wouldn't appear good if the two neighbors are not on talking terms. So these talks are extremely crucial. What was expected? Well, that's the big question, Avantika.
One was expecting India to toughen its stand against Pakistan following that terror attack. But Gaurav, as you mentioned, India still, trying to create an enabling environment for talks between the two countries in the wake of the rising terror attacks on Indian soil. How crucial and important does, the NIA interrogation become this time just before the NSA level talks?
India is proceeding in a very systematic manner. An FIR has been registered against Mohammed Nawed. The Terror Investigation Agency is National Investigation Agency. The National Investigation Agency is now building a cast iron case. All details, and not at the level of investigation, but the moment it's solid leads, they will be shared with Pakistan with a request to Pakistan to investigate this case further in their territory, considering Mohammed Nawed comes from Faisalabad in Pakistan. So India will build a very strong case. As India's Foreign Secretary S. Jaishankar made it very clear, India wants talks with Pakistan in a conducive environment. But if there are ceasefire violations along the line of control or international border, India will take punitive action against the perpetrators, whether of terror or ceasefire violations. So this is a twin-pronged strategy that India is adopting. Very keen to talk, but will punish terror.
But so far, Pakistan has only followed the script. We have seen them in denial mode so far, Gaurav, with Pakistan even accusing India of running a propaganda war against their country. How strong, does the recent terror attack and the very fact that Mohammad Naved is in Indian captivity makes for India's case?
Pakistan initially even denied that Ajmal Amir Kasab was a Pakistani terrorist,
right.
even though there was cast iron evidence of his being Pakistani. And ultimately, when there was tremendous pressure from the world, Pakistan conceded. But even, 8 years down the line, post 26/11, Pakistan has taken no action against the terror perpetrators and no action whatsoever against the mastermind of the terror attack. So what can be expected of Pakistan? Well, precious little. But at the same time, India will mount pressure on Pakistan. India will put a lot of evidence in public domain, name and shame Pakistan. As you rightly know, Avantika, that is exactly what even Afghanistan is doing at this stage. The recent spate of terror attacks in Afghanistan are all sourced back to Pakistan, and Afghanistan is exposing Pakistan. India will be doing the same.
Ties have been strained between India and Pakistan for some time now, and the recent incidents of terror were also aimed to derail the talks. In light of that, how important is the fact, Gaurav, that the NSA level talks is actually becoming a reality and will happen on 23rd of August?
India has upgraded these talks to the level of the National Security Advisor. Now, Ajit Doval, India's NSA, is one person who knows Pakistan like the back of his hand. He also has a lot of information at his disposal where Pakistan will not be allowed to bluff its way through these talks. And that is something that is very clear. Ajit Doval is very well if not respected, but appreciated even across the border in Pakistan. So one thing is very clear, India will make a very emphatic case. Whether Pakistan will act on this, it remains to be seen, because in Pakistan, it's actually the Pakistan army that calls the shots, irrespective of what Nawaz Sharif may want the world to believe. But, whether it's the United States or other world powers or NATO powers, they deal directly with Pakistan army while they humor the civilian leadership of Pakistan. Will India do that? It doesn't appear to be the case so far. But at the same time, India will name and shame Pakistan, but will have to strengthen its own borders and the country within to ensure that Pakistan-sponsored terror is defeated.
All right, Gaurav, thanks so much for joining us. So the India-Pakistan NSA level talks is very much on track. In fact, it will happen on the 23rd of August. That's the news that we're getting in right here on India Today.